on, glad you're along. The new drug today is a big ball game today here in Arlington. My goodness, JU all alone in first place in the Atlantic Sun. They play Florida Gulf Coast. One of the teams tied for second, only one game back. Big one tonight here at JU at Swisher, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to watch a little basketball. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon with you here. JJ LaSelva at World Headquarters. Always a Ricketts Electric Wednesday around here. We got to see our good friends Zach and Jesse the other day. That was a lot awesome. A lot of fun eating lunch with them. They're the best electricians in town. I can promise you that. They're growing. They told us that more vans, more trucks, more people to service you. So look, if you have electrical needs, my friends from Ricketts Electric, they're the best in the business. So, and always a Ricketts Electric Wednesday around here. I do disagree with something said during the handoff. I usually don't take issue unless I think it's egregiously wrong. But I've got to believe at one point, Joe, Matt, one of them said, this collapse by the Jaguars in the last handful of years was not your fault. Disagree.
Yeah, it certainly was my fault.
Disagree. Okay,
yeah.
I think it was your fault.
It was the negativity.
Yeah, no. I think it was just your presence.
The professional athletes and coaches couldn't overcome it.
I think it's just your presence. I think it's just, again, good thing we don't get ratings because once you joined the show, it was right downhill.
Sure,
so there was that. So
it's amazing that you guys still have your license.
How's the FCC still letting us operate? Hey, we're glad you're with us. Joking aside, we're excited about being here at JU. This is Jordan Mincy's going to join us in about 15 minutes and talk about the terrific start JU's off to. I'm not surprised. This is the team. You could tell there was something special about this group. Jordan, you and I had this talk yesterday on the air. They've always played defense. And they've always run and defended and rebounded. Now they shoot it. And you said it better. You said it more eloquently yesterday than I did. But if a Jordan Mincy team makes 10 threes, they're probably beating you. Yeah. That's kind of the thing.
I would say that's over an 80% win probability for JU if they hit 10 threes with the way they play defensively.
Yeah. So we're excited about being here. We're glad you're with us on this edition of the program. Loaded up with stuff today. Jordan's going to join us in about 15 minutes. To talk all about this matchup with Gulf Coast and this great start for JU. 440 is going to be Sports and Courts. We're going to do it today rather than on a Tuesday because we were at the stadium, so we wanted to back it up a day. But Brett Hastings has some real thoughts on this Todd Golden stuff. What's next? It's over in terms of the case was dismissed. That meant the investigators found nothing. And to me, that sounds like a bunch of people made it up to try and damage him.
Which is what happened.
It's certainly what the evidence tells us. I guess they always say the only people that really know what happened are the ones involved. But the evidence tells us that it was a bunch of made-up stuff to try and damage Todd Golden. And who knows all the stories? I don't pretend to. But I know how to follow the evidence, Hayes, and that's what the evidence would suggest, and Brett's going to break it down a little further for us today.
Yeah, that'll be great to get his expertise on that because, it's going to be really interesting to see. Once, again, we talked about it, once the Gators finish this season, I think Todd Golden and his, representation are going to devote their resources to this. I mean, they are livid that this, A, even happened, but B, how much of it leaked.
Right.
And the manner in which the other side, impersonating Florida attorneys to try and intimidate witnesses. Come on.
Yeah.
So, I hope that Todd Golden and his team, I hope they go after every dollar they can.
I do too. Listen, again, I'll say it again. Nobody knows everything that happened or didn't happen. But if we believe in this justice system, which I think is the best justice system in the world, our justice system told us there was nothing there. And again, I'll make one point. I'll make this one. Brett's here, too. If all these accusations of stalking, pictures, texts, there's not one piece of evidence, not one screenshot, nothing. It
can't happen.
But by now, in today's everything goes viral world, somebody would have had it. Yeah. Somebody would have.
Don't they have that cloud? Doesn't it stay in that cloud forever?
But somebody would have had it, and so again, I don't know. This sounds like Frangie's defending his Gator guy. I don't mean it that way, but it was a little curious when there was the accusations were text messages, photos, and nobody produced any of them. That's what made it. Nowhere to this day, nowhere.
Yeah, and so obviously there was a vindictive person here, and we're not going to get into the
who knows why.
They were vindictive, but regardless, I think the good news is obviously for Florida and for Todd Golden that it's over. I think now from the university standpoint, you've got to really embrace Todd Golden. You know, his world has been turned upside down by this. And Florida really needs to step up and make him feel not just welcomed, but that he is part of the Florida DNA in that athletic department. How do you do that? Major contract extension, major pay raise.
So, and I hope you're right. I hope that happens. Jaguar coaching search, far more names. Again, the Jags have done a great job with their digital team, confirming everybody that they've interviewed both on the defensive and offensive coordinator side. We're now seeing some offensive coordinators. Nate Shieldhouse, did you see that?
Yep.
From the Rams.
Yeah, he's definitely wanting to stick with the McVay tree as much as, which is understandable. Yeah. I mean, you know, there's probably a little bit of a language there that's unique that in experiences that are similar they can draw off of. So it doesn't appear like he's going to hire a particularly experienced staff.
Right.
But again, as Shad Khan kind of said, this is modern football. This is what I'm looking for. I'm not really looking for the guy that, you know, create his playbook 30 years ago.
Right.
I'm looking for the guy that, you know, is doing things that, you know, the NFL has not yet seen. So, you know, at least on an offensive standpoint, makes sense that Liam Cohen it's to this point looks like going awfully young.
Nate's the first offensive coordinator candidate I've seen. Here's the Nate Shieldhouse story I'll tell you. Robert Griffin III is the quarterback. Art Briles as the play caller. Say what you want about Art Briles in other ways, but a fantastic offensive mind. Illinois played Baylor in, I think, the Texas Bowl. I don't know, 2010, 11, somewhere thereabouts. The year before RG3 won the Heisman Trophy. Nate Shieldhouse, the Illinois quarterback. Robert Griffin III, the Baylor quarterback. Illinois 38, Baylor 14.
Wow.
So, and he was a thinking man's quarterback at Illinois. Really, really smart kid. Players really, he was a good leader. You could tell when he was a quiet leader. He wasn't rah-rah guy, but he, as the Illinois quarterback, because I was up there a lot, guys really responded to Nate Shieldhouse. So I would imagine and I haven't followed his career after that, but I would imagine he's gone on to be a very good coach. He was a coach at Iowa State. I think he was at Iowa State, which meant he would have been under Matt Campbell, who's a great leader. He's been under Sean McVay. So, again, that's only one guy, and I have no idea if he's getting the job, and I haven't seen him in 12 years. But I would think if that's the kind of leader and upwardly mobile coach that Liam Cohen's after, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I would think so as well. That's a great story. And, you know, I have full confidence in Liam Cohen from a hiring the offensive side of the ball standpoint. I think he knows exactly what he wants. I think he's cutthroat in the best way possible and going about getting deals done. So I have no doubt that Liam Cohen is going to build the offensive staff to his liking. You know, I think defensively that's where, you know, there's a little bit of let's prove it on that side. Because I do think that in an ideal world, Liam Cohen is going to be connected to the defensive side. But he said the other day, you know, the product on the field, I want it to be the defensive coordinator's moral compass and his product out there. So the defensive hires will be, I think, a little bit more imperative just because I think Liam Cohen, I think he knows exactly what he wants on the offensive side of the ball, and I think he's going to be able to go find it.
Yeah, so I'm certainly excited about that. I am very excited about where I think Liam Cohen is going to take them. So that means that's good stuff. All right, the story of the day, though, here at JU, what a big game for the Dolphins tonight. Gulf Coast has been probably the premier program start to finish in this league, and the league's changed teams a lot, but they're the team that got to the Sweet 16. They're the one team that had, what were they called, Dunk City. They had the Dunk City team, and if they hadn't have run into that loaded Gator team, who knows it? They might have been in the Final Four.
And look, 10 minutes into that game, I think it was the regional semifinal.
Something like that.
I mean, it was Gulf Coast, I want to say like 18-6 early, and it was in Dallas. I was there covering it. I mean, the building was on fire for Gulf Coast, and then Florida was able to kind of figure some things out, and they ended up winning comfortably. But, yeah, I mean, that was unbelievable momentum that Gulf Coast had at that time.
And look, all the teams many of the teams have had their run. UNF had that magnificent run, including a trip to the NCAA tournament. JU has been in that championship game 2 of the last 3 years. Bellarmine certainly was very good the one year. They're terrible this year, by the way. They're good. Liberty has been a dominant team before they left the league, and they had the great, obviously, the athletic budget. But everybody's had a run. But Gulf Coast is kind of in Stetson last year beat JU in that narrow game in the conference championship and had a very good season under Donnie Jones, the former Florida assistant. But I would say Gulf Coast has been the standard. They'd be the standard. When you say, if you had to
they
pick
usually
one.
Seem like they finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
Of the league. They're usually I would say they're pretty consistent. So
right.
Yeah, it's going to be a big test for JU tonight. And Dolphins are 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah.
So obviously they're expecting a very tight game here tonight.
And those students will be there all on that student side, right behind both benches, and so it's going to be a lot. So look, come on out here. I assume, Henry, there's tickets, right? It's not sold out yet, is it? There's tickets. So, yeah, there won't be a lot of tickets because it's a small gym, but there will be tickets. If you want to come out and watch good basketball, I'll tell you this is going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. So I'm very excited about it and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. Again, Jordan Mincy in just a few minutes after our first break. Brett Hastings after that. Alex Ricker-Gilbert at the top of the hour. One of the things Alex is going to talk about, John Galloway, the lacrosse coach here, is like one of the studs in the industry. JU is a top 20 team every year. And he goes back, and he went to Syracuse, which is the creme de la creme, the elite. That's a blue blood in lacrosse. And JU goes up there this weekend, which is a really cool thing. I asked Alex Ricker-Gilbert, can we get John on? And he was going to talk to him about it and try and get him over here. But now they're practicing 4 to 6, and John takes his practices seriously.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why practice would be more important than our radio show. I don't get it. But if we don't have John, Alex is going to talk a lot about that because lacrosse is a growing sport in the area and it's growing in the suburbs and they got the stud of all studs in this guy John Galloway. And so you've met John probably. I know he's been on our show before. So we'll certainly. But anyway, Alex Ricker-Gilbert will be here to talk about all things JU. So we got a lot of things to go to do today. But we're happy to be here. Do want to remind you, by the way, tomorrow. We'll be live at the Liam Cohen's first Duval, as they're calling it, fun pep rally. Really looking forward to that, too. Come on out there. You can still get tickets. Plenty of tickets. Go on. It's free. All you have to do is go on Jaguars.com and register. I think it's 40% off concessions, a big discount off merchandise, and the ticket's free. And Liam's going to be there. There's going to be a panel discussion. JP, I think, is going to MC it. He does a great job of that kind of stuff. Tony will be up there on stage with Liam for parts of that thing. He'll be there. The Roar will be there, and the D-line will be there, and it's going to be an awful lot of fun. So first pep rally with Liam overseeing the franchise. That's tomorrow. We'll be live there from 4 to 6, and I'm excited about that, and I hope you'll come join us and watch a terrific pep rally tomorrow night. We'll take a break. When we come back, we expect Jordan Mincy to stop by, the JU basketball coach. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Follow the JU Dolphins on 1010XL.
Number 1 in the ASUN. The Dolphins are back at historic Swisher Gym for First Responders Night. JU Florida Gulf Coast. Tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Frank Frangie here. It's new year, new truck time at Nimnick Chevrolet. This month you can save up to $12,000 off a new Silverado. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find the perfect truck at Nimnick. Nimnick Chevrolet is more than just trucks. They've got the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. Visit the showroom on Cassett Avenue. NimnickChevy.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Rick Ballou
true for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
He's not Pistol Pete, he's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
The Florida Forum welcomes best-selling author and journalist Carl Hyacin, February 12th. Funds raised go to a Kids Care Mobile ICU, a neonatal and pediatric critical care transport vehicle. Kids Care vehicles and helicopters safely transport more than 2,200 infants and children a year to Wilson Children's Hospital. Get your tickets at thefloridaforum.com or call 202-2886. 202-2886.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it, and now we're set for the final stretch on the road to New Orleans. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sportsbook pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back, and if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 50% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The big game prop bets are going to be plentiful, so take a hard look at player props and the wacky big game props you see each year from MyBookie. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. Sign up now and get your 50% bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. The road to New Orleans is here for the big game. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Ricketts Electric Wednesday on The Frangie Show. Ricketts Electric, the power connection you can trust.
All right, we welcome you back. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, along with first place coach Jordan Mincy. You like that? That's good, right?
That's nice.
It's the JU 7-1 in first place in the A-Sun and a good A-Sun. First of all, congratulations. I know there's a lot of work to do, but congratulations on a great start. You guys are playing great.
Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Why has it clicked so well this year? Well, why are you guys playing as well as you are?
You know what? We have such a wonderful group just to be around. You talk about high character individuals down the line, whether it's our freshmen that we recruited in or, a lot of transfers along with the returning guys. And so I like to say that we win because we're more talented, but we just have high character guys who love each other. They give everything they have every day. And like I said, it's just such a joy to be able to be around them on a daily basis.
You guys are shooting the three much better, it seems like, this year. Well, I know you're averaging 7.6 a game, but it feels like even lately you've been hitting that double-digit mark. What's been the key in getting that outside shot going so well?
Well, I'll give all the credit to our staff. They did a great job of identifying shooters with different skill set who, along with our defensive scheme that fit in, along with their character. But at the same time, I also need to shout out Mike Fly, our associate head coach. He is on me constantly about our practice plan. He's like, hey, we don't got enough shooting in there. We ain't got enough shooting. I know we're going to do shell. I know we're going to do our defensive breakdown. But please put in shooting. And so, like I said, he deserves a shout-out.
That's great. I didn't know that story. So he's the one that makes you shoot in practice.
Oh, every day he wants us to put as many shots up as possible in practice.
The A's son always has good players. Every now and then, great players come along. Chaz Lanier was a great player. He's now at Tennessee. The little guy from Liberty, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he never missed a shot in freaking 4 years. I don't remember his name, but
Darius McGee.
McGee, right? Yep. He was so good. Rob McRae's a great player. He's a real. I mean, he can take over games. How important is his presence for this team?
He's been important throughout the entire season. The one thing that I love about him, his scoring average is down a little bit, but the one thing that he loves, he wants his wins to go up. And so he said, Coach, I don't necessarily care about my own individual accolades as long as we're winning. That was one of my major concerns. He hasn't been Player of the Week yet or voted on ASUN Player of the Week. And so for him, I came to him the other day and said, hey, man, just want you to know you're playing well. Our guys are winning. He's like, Coach, I don't care about any of those accolades as long as we're winning games.
Follow up. Me watching Jordan, it almost seems like he knows when to turn the switch. Is that an accurate read on him? He sometimes, okay, I need to take over for the next 4 or 5 minutes. It feels that way watching the game.
Yeah, you know what? He gets lost in the game a lot of the times. He kind of reads it. He knows when there's a different flow going, and once he has 1 or 2 baskets where he feels like the defense may have showed him, certain looks, he'll take advantage of it. But at the same time, he doesn't try to force anything. He tries to make sure that he plays off his teammates. He allows for his teammates to make plays for themselves, but also to make plays for him. And so just to be able to see his, his level of play, being able to read different schemes on the defensive end has been a joy.
What concerns you about Gulf Coast?
Just that they're a tough-minded team. They're a veteran team. They have a lot of older guys, along with the transfers that they brought in, and they shoot the 3-ball extremely well. And so when you talk about not necessarily a high-scoring team, but they love to control the pace. And so we have to do a great job of getting at them defensively, but at the same time speeding the game up.
Jordan, are they the standard bearer in the league? As far as there's a lot of good teams in the league, but they're the one team year in and year out you got to beat, aren't they?
Oh, year in, year out. You know what? They've always given us trouble just with their style of play. We used to, kind of have a mirror image of one another just because that was kind of our style. And due to our ability to be able to recruit to a different level, we've decided to, play it faster. And so just understanding what they're going to bring to the table, understand that, we call it a rivalry, but, as of late, they've kind of owned us just to be transparent. And so our guys are going to be juiced for the game and ready to go.
I've got to bring this up. Forgive me. So Joe Lunardi's latest bracketology has JU as a 14 seed against 3 seed Michigan State. Mincy versus Izzo. How exciting is stuff like that when you're seeing that? But also, how do you guard against with the players' complacency of, hey, it's been a while since we've lost, and remembering what that feels like on a 7-game win streak?
So, the one thing that I'm often saying is, hey, you have to be able to manage noise, right? And the most intense noise doesn't necessarily come from social media. A lot of times it comes from your own family. It comes from the people who are closest to you. And so we're constantly just, teach them, look, you may have a good game, but why did you have a good game? And then if you see our box scores, we have numerous guys who can go off on any given night. That's what makes us dangerous. So it's never about one individual. And so for us to be able to stay in the mindset that we're currently in, it's about attacking what's right in front of you. Hey, are we good in practice right now? We're not. Okay, let's bring it in. Let's talk about it as a group. Let's understand what we need to do, and let's get refocused. And so we never try to make sure our vision is too far out. And so that's a blessing that we do see our name, or, that somebody thinks that highly of our program. But at the same time, we just want to be where our feet are.
Jordan, you've got good pieces. You have a legitimate point guard in Spence. I mean, he looks like he plays like a point guard. You got a bunch of guys big. Payne's probably your best. We got a lot of bigs. But I think Zimmy changed you. I think he's a stretch four. He plays with enthusiasm. How important has he been to your team?
Man, Zimmy is a breath of fresh air. We, for so long, have tried to recruit a stretch four, a guy who had a certain level of toughness, but a guy who can make shots at the same time. And so we were blessed to recruit him. A lot of that, shout out again to Mike Fly with his relationship with Zimmy. And once we got him, the one thing you can never know is how somebody will be on a day-to-day basis. Not necessarily between those lines, but just as a person. And this dude is, he never has a bad day. He's always super positive, whether the game's going well or not. He'll miss a couple of shots and he'll say, Coach, I'm going to hit the next one, I promise you. And I'm like, hey, Zimmy, I'm not worried about your shot selection. I'm not worried about how many shots you hit. I know at any point you can go off. And so he's been fun to coach, and I know he's been an unbelievable teammate, and our guys love being around him.
Second thing about players, how good will – I've been saying Arias. Maybe it's Arias if I'm saying it wrong. But Arias and KJ, how good will they be in your mind?
They're going to be exceptional. Those guys' future is so bright, and we were so blessed to be able to keep them at home. You talk about two individuals who have great families. They have an unbelievable skill set, and they play for two great high school coaches. And so to be able to have those guys in our program, it's also allowed for us to be successful this season, knowing that, they've seen the program, and it means so much to them to represent the city of Jacksonville.
Stephon Payne averaging 6.5 rebounds a game. What kind of toughness, physicality has he brought to the team?
You know what? He's also a local kid as well, right? He's from Jacksonville. He loves the universe. He loves the community as a whole. And so his whole thing is, hey, Coach, how can I make us better? I want to be unselfish, but the thing that he brings is that toughness aspect, whether it's blocking shots late game like he did in Queens, whether it's going to get a double-double in some of the games that he unfortunately, he doesn't want to score. But when he scores, I look at him, I was like, hey, that's an added bonus. And so he's a great human being to be around. And him and Spence, they're like best friends. So if you see Jakari, you're going to see Steph. And so, like I said, those guys, man, they're great to be around, and I love them to death.
He's better than I thought he'd be.
Yeah.
Payne. I remember when he was here, Jackson, and I thought he'd be a good player. But he's one of the better big guys in the league. He's good.
Yeah, one of the things that was interesting about Steph was he decided to stay on campus this summer, even though he's local. I was like, hey, you gonna go home, spend time with your mom? And he was like, no, Coach, I just want to work out and be in the gym as much as I can this summer. And so he put on about 15 pounds of muscle, which was surprising. So he stayed in the weight room, and he really kind of developed his offensive game a little bit. And so being more consistent from the free throw line, and obviously he's always been a good rebounder. But, he just really worked on his body because he wanted to bring that certain level of toughness that we just spoke on.
Does this potentially have the chance to be the most fun team you've ever had the opportunity to coach?
Oh, yeah, by far. You know what? Like, the season could end today, and who knows? We could be upset. I just love being around these dudes. Like, their personalities, the way they care about one another. They put, others before themselves, and that's what we always preach, but they really bought into it. And so to be able to just say that I'm their coach, man, it's an honor.
You know what? I can tell, too. Hayes asked you last time we were here if you found your rotation. Sometimes injuries help you find it for you,
Yes.
But I hate that you lost a really good point guard, and obviously you lost a good freshman big guy, and I hate that. But it's forced you to find a really good rotation. It works that way sometimes, doesn't it?
It has. You know what? A lot of times you have injuries, and you say to yourself, man, we're going to be, incredibly deep. Well, you never know how deep you're going to be until those injuries happen.
Yeah.
And so it shows, with our staff's recruitment and the way that we've gone about it, that we recruited to a high level. But at the exact same time, being able to know your rotation, guys don't look over their shoulder necessarily, and they're very comfortable in their position.
It feels that way. It feels that way. Jordan Mincy, the JU coach. Big game tonight here at Swisher. Come on out and see him. JU versus Gulf Coast. Congratulations on a great start. Keep it going.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Back in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
They get up early every morning to help you start your day with sports and a smile.
That is a good cup of joe.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Crosser.
Good morning.
Kind of like a cup of radio coffee. Mornings on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
The Electric Light Orchestra Experience featuring Evil Woman, the American ELO. A concert celebration featuring the music of Electric Light Orchestra. It's February 5th at Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
Pizza to Tea here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Super Sunday.
Everyone wants to be a part of NFL history.
The players, the plays, the preparation.
Gave yourself an opportunity to do something special.
Tackle the top storylines and prepare for the game of the year with 1010XL and Window World of Northeast Florida.
Yo, E.T. here, and beat the winter blues with fun activities in Clay County. Some of my personal favorites are a hands-on aquaponics class at Reparation Earth, or diving into the action at Nakima Anime Bar, where you can join weekly gaming and cosplay tournaments. Clay County always has something going on. Plan your next date at exploreclay.com and share the fun at #ExploreClay.
This is Hays Carlyon here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your friends have already discovered what I already have learned, and that's that Kingfish is exactly the place to go for keeping your home and lawn protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Mike Dempsey here. All right, we're almost a month into the new year. How's that resolution to drop your first 20 to 25 pounds going? Didn't happen? Yeah, well, that's probably because you didn't call Awaken 180 weight loss. I did, and in just 4 weeks, I dropped 23 pounds and was at my goal. But here's the crazy part. It didn't stop there. It was so easy, I kept going. Did it another week. Next thing I know, I'm down 27 pounds. That's right, 27. You know what's wild? I can still see my abs again. Not ripped. I don't have a six-pack, but I didn't even think I had those anymore before Awaken 180. It's amazing when you see the results. Feel the results. You just want to keep pushing forward. That's what makes Awaken 180 so different. It's not some medication quick fix where the weight comes off and comes back. It's real results that you can see and feel. Fast results and lasting results. Results that make you want to keep going. To reach a goal you never thought possible. Want the same for you? Then do it. Call the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com today.
Hey, are you ready to welcome our new head coach, Liam Cohen, to the bank? Join us this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Gallagher Club West and be among the first to hear directly from Coach Cohen. Enjoy a live panel with Coach Cohen, appearances from Jaguars legend Tony Vaselli, The Roar, Jackson DeVille, and the D-Line. Tickets are free, but space is limited. Secure your tickets by going to jaguars.com/Coach Cohen today.
Visit Monahan Jewelers now through Valentine's Day for savings on all GIA certified diamonds and discounts store-wide up to 40% off. And interest-free financing on all purchases. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. Monahan's has it all. We're not a chain store. We're your local family jeweler since 1977 with a world-class inventory of fine jewelry and diamonds and gemstones available in any size. Support your local family jeweler now through Valentine's with huge savings on our inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now time for Sports and Courts, legal issues in the sports world with Brett Hastings from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Hit back with Hastings.
All right, let's bring in Brett Hastings from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Sports and Courts is normally on a Tuesday. Brett was patient enough to wait because we had all the Jaguar stuff going on as we were down at the stadium earlier in the week. All right, let's get to this, Brett. The whole Todd Golden thing is kind of crazy. Walk us through what has happened so far, and we'll get to where it's going in a minute. But what's happened so far?
So remember, initially, he essentially was stalking and had sent pictures of his genitalia to female students at the University of Florida, right? Those students filed what's called a Title IX complaint. So then there was an investigation. That investigation has taken place. They've gone through the procedures, and the university has found that all of the allegations were meritless, and it's not going to find that there's going to be any discipline or anything else that's going to come out of that Title IX complaint. And so that's where we're at procedurally, but now, obviously, we talk about it on here all the time, and I think Hays brought up a question when we were first addressing the Todd Golden situation. What if this isn't true, right? Well, this is when we get into defamation. And, we've talked about it before, but defamation is essentially the act of communicating a false statement about someone that harms their reputation. And, the big thing with this is it's all been behind closed doors, right? So really, we know there was an investigation. We know part of what came out of this alligator report allegedly by way of these complainants. And we know that at least those complaints, based on what we've seen so far, that there was no merit to, stalking and or sending these photos of genitalia.
One of the things that, and probably beyond obviously just the investigation in general, the accusations, it seems like Golden and his representation are particularly bothered by how the details of it became public. How was that allowed to happen, and how does that help him in a future lawsuit against his accuser?
It helps him a lot. If he chooses to proceed, in a civil lawsuit. We don't know if that's going to happen. They said no matter what, we'd wait till the off season to determine it. Here's something I did not know and getting prepared for today. There isn't really any recourse for making a false complaint under Title IX, within Title IX, okay? So how could you get in trouble for that? Well, you could get a civil lawsuit for defamation. But generally, if you make a false police report, right, and you do that to a sworn officer, that itself is a crime, right? You can't do that. You can't report false claims to other government agencies. So I was shocked when I found that out, number one, okay? So the recourse here would really be by way of a civil lawsuit, or if you found out somebody lied on an affidavit or committed perjury as part of testimony taken under oath. And the thing that Todd was really frustrated with was he was following the rules and was bound not to make any comment about it, saying, hey, I wanted to go and say there's no basis to this, right? But somebody went out and leaked it. There are allegations on the internet. We don't know if this is true, so this is where we'll insulate ourselves, right, from defamation. But they said someone posed as a lawyer who wasn't a lawyer, right, to help to convey some of this information to the media. So it was clear that they wanted to get it out, and that would make it a really strong defamation lawsuit because you could really show the intention to try to harm someone's reputation.
I got to ask you this. Now, Hays and I talked about this at the top of the program today. It would seem to me a lot of things. Number one, there's all this accusation of pictures, texts, yet we haven't seen the first one anywhere. This stuff in today's day and age, Brett, always goes viral, always, but we haven't seen the first piece of evidence. So that tells me two things. There's a reason why Florida never suspended him while they investigate. Florida, I'm going to tell you and I don't know this, no one's told me this, I'm just trying to piece together the evidence. Florida must have never believed there was anything to this, or he wouldn't have been out there coaching, in my opinion. Right. And secondly, now he's off. Their belief in him by not suspending him has been validated, at least until more comes out, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, they're not supposed to be making comments either, just like the complainants and the alleged victims here were not supposed to do it, right? So Florida was holding true with that and was really limited, in what they could say. Anyways, if you're going to abide by Title IX. And so, to answer what Hays was saying, that's what he was frustrated with, right? They're trying to effectuate a hatchet job, and everybody's going, hey, and I would imagine the conversations behind the door were, hey, where's the pictures? Where's the stuff? I can't say anything about it. Counsel and everybody else said, hey, you got to let it run its course. So, and I think what he did was pretty artfully done through his lawyer. They made as much of a statement without making a statement as they could, right, prior to it.
Oh, he made a clear statement.
That was right. But what I was saying is it was the most that he could do in that situation. And I would bet Florida would probably still say, we didn't want you to say or do anything. And that statement didn't come from Florida. It came from his counsel, right? So, yeah, I agree. This is why we can't rush to judgment, because if there is not a single picture or any of those things weren't true and somebody was trying to effectuate to do this, this is what's devastating. I'm actually glad that we're talking about this today on Sports and Courts, because there are so many times that these types of allegations are made and we never hear anything else about them. And it doesn't mean every time somebody settled and it was a confidential suit. It just means later on when nothing came out of it, it wasn't newsworthy enough. And that's where the people really are harmed, because to a certain extent, okay, and I'm not saying it makes everything right, but to a certain extent, Todd Golden is being exonerated in some respects by this being reported and by this getting out there.
Obviously, Todd Golden is a multimillionaire, so he's probably not bringing the suit for any sort of financial reward, regardless of how much money or how little money the accuser has. But what if Todd Golden pursues this and wins it, even if it's only for a small amount of money, how does that then get conveyed publicly that not only was he cleared, but he won a lawsuit against his accuser?
Right. Well, at the end of the day, we talk about the court of law and the court of public opinion, right? If he goes to the Final Four and is the SEC Coach of the Year and some of these other things, that might mitigate damages, right? Obviously, that's not what the suit's about. It goes to the core of the reputation of the man, the character, right, of the man. I don't know that they'll ultimately pursue it, because in a lot of ways I think they've gotten what they wanted, which was to be exonerated. The one thing the University of Florida said in their statement was they applauded his level of cooperation and how forthright, that he was. And you can't get blood out of a turnip, right? So if we're going to assume these are students, they don't have any other money, you're going to get a pointless judgment. If it comes forward, I think it'll be driven on what you were talking about before. The fact about how unfair it is that somebody could go and sort of leak these allegations and you don't even have an opportunity to, respond or to react to it, And, I don't have to talk to Todd Golden, and we can see enough from the statements that that's what he was frustrated with, right? He was frustrated with wait a second, you're going to take a shot at my character, and we can't do anything until we run through the process of this. And, at this point, he's like, hey, I'm not even going to look at, any legal things till after it, because he wants to do what's right now, which is let's try to go win 2 out of 4 games here on this next stretch, and get back to the coaching of basketball. So, if he wants to bring it on principle, he can. I don't think he'll ever see any real money, that would come out of it. But, I do think you would be able to prevail, and it'd be defamation per se. And if there's not any evidence as it relates to it, it would be a clear legal case. It just probably wouldn't be the type of damages or the opportunity to get paid that would be worth the legal expenditure to get there.
All right, I'll tell you this as we close, and given everything you guys both just said, I don't know him. We've had him on 2 or 3 years. He's great, but I don't know him socially, and I don't know. But just hearing how many times he said, guys, I wish I could say more. I can't, but I wish I could. I've heard him say that 2 or 3 times. Seeing how aggressive his attorney's statement was, how it had the detail of what he thought his accusers or people around his accusers had done. Brett, and you're the legal guy, I'm not. I'd be shocked if they don't sue him civilly. I think, excuse me, I think what that message said was we're going to go play our season. We are going to do everything we can to win a national championship, and then we are going to sue your ass. And it ain't about money, and it ain't about hurting you financially. It's about someone's got to step up for people who are falsely, if indeed he was, and that's his position. Right. Someone's got to step up for the people that are falsely accused, and we are suing your ass just to make sure we send a message to any other false accusers down the road. And again, let me be clear. All I know is what the evidence says. I'm not saying that I know he did or didn't, but based on the evidence, Brett, I'd be shocked if his camp doesn't sue the accusers civilly somehow, some way. Agree or disagree?
Right. I agree with all of that. A lot of times I think the biggest thing is you got to go into the circle of trust, which is your family, right? And just say, do we want this to be behind us, or do we want to deal with the litigation for 18 months? And, hey, this was hard on Todd Golden, but I bet it was just as hard on his wife, right? And if it were me, I'd sit down with my wife and say, what do we want to do here? We want to go and do this on principle, because it ain't about money, right? Heck, there'd probably be some lawyers willing to take this, not even to go do the stuff, just to send the message that you were talking about. But I don't think it's 100% sure. I think it's 50-50, because I think you got to go in that circle of trust and say, do we want to put this behind us and be onward and upward? Or is this, we don't want to see another person go through this? And if that's where they're at, and from the statements and the other stuff, if you made me choose one or the other, I think he probably is in that place of, I don't want to see somebody else go through this. But we learned what's shocking, and everybody kind of had a rush to judgment, is that it's so outlandish that you felt like, hey, there was going to be objective proof of these allegations, right? From what we heard, you felt like, hey, there's either pictures or not, there's messages or not. And so that's what I think is really shocking about this whole thing, that if, in fact, that happened, and that's a ton of bravado from somebody to go in and make these claims and not have evidence to back it up.
Exactly right. Brett Hastings, great work as always. A great edition of Sports and Courts. Brett from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Brett, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
Take care.
So, and I'll tell you this, my thought on this, and really we don't know details, but at some point you got to follow the evidence or the lack of it. All right, I think that's the fair thing to do. And I will tell you, crimes against women are real. People that have been in Jacksonville a long time know that my family went through that, and it is a real thing, and it's a horrible thing. And I will always defend a woman or defend the fact that crimes against women are real, and shame on anybody. I feel for anybody that's had to go through it, shame on anybody that participates on it from the attacker. Okay, I'm not saying that very eloquently, but you get the point. But at the same time, because crimes against women have been so real, that there are some that have claimed it after the fact that it didn't happen. There's been false accusations in the world. We've seen them. And I'm not saying that's as damaging as a crime against women. It's not. But it certainly can ruin someone's life. It can ruin someone's career. And if, based on the evidence we have, if indeed these were all false accusations, and again, the evidence tells us they were. That's certainly the people investigating this, that's what they believe. And I will tell you, if these are false accusations, it won't be the first time. And someone does need to stand up and say, no, we are going to take action here to prevent it from happening the next time. Now, what you don't want to have happen is it prevent a real victim from coming forward. And I get that. And the last thing you want is any action Todd Golden or anybody else takes preventing a real victim from coming forward. I don't want that. But if it's a false accusation, I don't blame him if he moves forward with the case after the season. I guess that's the point.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him at all. I mean, it nearly ruined his life. I mean, and again, the accusations were just so brutal, and the creepiness factor of it, and yes, so detailed that, I mean, how could you possibly not have a shred of evidence of this? And so again, it was somebody that really wanted to ruin Todd Golden's life, and yeah, if I was Todd Golden, sure, I'd have the conversation with my family, but I would be very inclined to let you can still kind of stay out of it, but I mean, I would want my lawyer to absolutely pursue it.
And I'll say this in closing on this topic is, because now that it's over, so many people are saying what we're saying, and that is, how dare they make these accusations if there was never any evidence? And a lot of people are saying that because that's how I feel and how you feel. Well, for that reason, if there is evidence that hasn't come forward, it will now. If there's a picture or something that didn't come forward, that the accusers, because they're being attacked now, so if in a week or so or whatever, you still don't see it?
Well, they've got nothing, obviously.
Well,
I mean, they've had months to produce it.
Yeah, and that's right. So if nothing comes forward, my point is, I agree with you. But if there's anything there, now would be when it comes forward. Because you're right, it would have come forward before, but you get my point. If it still doesn't come forward, well, then we know. Well, then you definitively know. So I don't blame him. I would not blame him. I would not blame him if he sent a message that you can't do this. And again, there's always gray areas, somewhere along the line. But what an interesting case. And again, I'll say last thing I'll say on it. If Florida, and I believe this in all my heart, if the Gators ever believed, if the Florida administration ever believed he was guilty of it, or even partially guilty of it, he would have been coaching. I believe that in my heart. You think that? Maybe people think that's naive. I don't, Hays. I think if they ever believed that, I think he did this, even if I don't have evidence, I think he might have done this, I think they would have suspended him. Agree or disagree?
No, I agree. And again, none of the details of this were ever supposed to come out. That's the other thing. It was such a clear, premeditated attempt to ruin Todd Golden's life. And that's why I think the person that perpetrated it, I don't think that they even gave a thought to the ramifications of it. I think they were so blinded by rage to get Todd Golden that they didn't consider the consequences of what would happen. And that's why if I was Todd Golden and his representation, those consequences would be very real and very in their face right now.
We'll take a break. When we come back, back to JU Athletics, our friend Alex Ricker-Gilbert joins us momentarily. We'll talk JU Athletics and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
And it's intercepted. Mathis has got it. He's going back the other way at the 40-yard line. Looking for a block. He's got it. Rasheen down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown.
1010XL.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make, and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is, and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning has your back. Start the year fresh. No leaks, no clogs, no excuses. Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures right now running an awesome special for January. Get a complete enclosure done, get free flooring. Now that can save you some money. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring also running a buy one room, get the second room free. Once again, only for January. Now offering flooring coating as well. So give them a call. I know I did. Visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
4 years of dreams, dedication, and desires deliver us to this day. Catch Decision Day for college sports future stars next Wednesday. Opened by Baker Glass. No one treats you better on 1010XL.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com. Powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm living proof that with Rebound Rehab, you can bounce back and get back in the game. Joe C. for Rebound Rehabilitation, and they helped me recover from an ankle injury that had me down and out. Their team of physical therapists ensure you'll get the best treatment you need to recover and regain mobility. From back, shoulder, and neck pain to a nagging knee or arthritis, Rebound Rehab can help form a game plan through therapy and exercise, complete with an app so you can continue to recover at home. Check out reboundrehab.com. 8 convenient locations.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hays Carlyon for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it, and now we're set for the final stretch on the road to New Orleans. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, just straight up action. Does your other sportsbook pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back, and if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step up, use our promo code 1010XL, and that'll double your bankroll with a 50% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The big game prop bets are going to be plentiful, so take a hard look at player props and the wacky big game props you see each year from MyBookie. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays, so why wait? There's a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. Sign up now and get your 50% bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. The road to New Orleans is here for the big game. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but incredibly functional for me and Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com and take advantage of their 40% off New Year savings this month only, including 18-month special financing. Closets by Design.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. New Jaguars head coach Liam Cohen sat down with Action News Jax's Brent Martineau to talk about Cohen's introduction to Jacksonville. Martineau asked Cohen about why he thinks Shad Khan decided to select him for the job opposed to other candidates.
You look at the quarterback development over the years, right? Even going back to my first quarterback I ever coached at Brown University, Kyle Newhall Caballero, and he ended up in the NFL. Being able to produce offensive result. This league is still about scoring. It's about quarterback development, about scoring points, and the people that I've been able to learn from have also done it at a high level for a long time.
Cohen has the blueprint for development as he's proved to be capable of it at all levels. He knows it's 68 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and Tent brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Ricketts Electric Wednesday on the Frangie Show. Ricketts Electric, the power connection you can trust.
All right, welcome back. ELO. You telling me you've got an ELO prize to give away, JJ? Could that possibly be true?
It can. So I have 2 tickets to the Electric Light Orchestra Experience featuring Evil Woman, the American ELO, on Wednesday, February the 5th at 7:30 at Jacksonville Center for Performing Arts as part of the FSCJ Artist Series. So be caller number 4 right now at 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
Caller number 4, go and hear some of that great ELO music. Frank Frangie, Hays Carlyon, live at JU. We're excited about JU and Gulf Coast tonight. Our buddy Alex Ricker-Gilbert joins us now. He is the athletic director here. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. This is the first time I've been on video, too.
Yeah.
You guys have gotten so good looking, they put you on video.
Yeah, well, that is exactly what happened.
That's right.
The people called for it.
Yeah.
You know, if the people called for it, you got to do what the people want,
Exactly.
Alex. So there is this.
Numbers are skyrocketing.
Yes, they are. 7-1 in the league, alone in first place. I told you this earlier. Jordan's teams have always been good. This one's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's what have you seen? Jordan did a great job with us earlier. What have you seen from this group?
Yeah, I think obviously long way to go, but to your point, we've had a lot. We've always guarded towards the top of the league. I think I looked earlier this week. We're first in the league in 3-point field goal percentage. We don't take the most threes, but we're making them at the highest clip, and that's a change.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that goes to the connectivity of the group. They really like each other. They don't really care who puts up the numbers. It's a different guy on any given night, and I think that matters. They're sharing the ball and getting guys open look. And to your point, it's fun.
Thank you for the hats, by the way. They're
These
gorgeous.
are awesome. Right there. See that?
Yeah,
See
you
that
can
hat?
see them on the video there. But of
course,
in the ball movement, how impressive has that been as well in terms of unlocking that long distance accuracy?
Yeah, I think we've played fast, and I think Coach probably has touched on that. We've tried to really control the pace of the game the last few years, but we're athletic. We got guys who can get up and down. And in transition, we're tough to stop. And when you get going downhill, and guys break out to the wings and get open looks, good things are happening.
Yeah, he told us a neat story, Alex, and I appreciated his humility in this. He pretty much said, I'm a defensive coach. And he said, when I do the practice plans, Coach Fly comes to me and says, hey, we need more shooting. We need more shooting in practice. We're not shooting enough in practice. And he said he wears me out about it, and I put it in there. I appreciate the humility in saying that, number one. Number two, it's working. I guess that's the point.
Yeah, and Coach Mincy does an incredible job of allowing his staff to coach. And I know that sounds simple.
No, I get it.
But a lot of head coaches, they like to hear themselves talk and coach and be sort of the center of the practice. And I think what really that means for us is that just shows how confident Jordan is in his own ability and his staff's ability for him to be willing and wanting to share with his staff the coaching duties in practice. And he knows their strengths. He knows what they're good at. He knows the spots to put them in. You got to do that with your players, but you got to do that with your staff too. And he's done an unbelievable job trusting them.
Joe Lunardi at ESPN has obviously become the gold standard when it comes to predicting the bracket. I'm sure you saw it earlier this week. He's got JU as a 14 seed facing off against 3-seeded Michigan State. Beyond that, because obviously there's a lot of basketball left, but what does it say about the ASUN to have that 14 seed? Because that really popped to me. You know, a lot of times the ASUN champion, we've seen it be even a 16 seed in the play-in.
Yeah.
But is that the vibe that you guys are getting conferences wide, is that our champion has a chance to not just be in the field, but have a pretty strong seed?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think it depends on the school. I think a lot of our success started in the non-league, and we played competition that I think, according to Ken Palm, we were 34th in the country in strength of schedule going into league play. And so I think that probably helps with Lunardi's opinion of us in who we've played. You know, we had the Virginia Tech win. We played a couple teams in the SEC who are monsters in college basketball. And so then having success in the league, I think that all attributes to where he currently has us on that seed line. But I do think it starts with the competition we played in the non-league.
Alex, big picture here, because I want to get to some other sports in a minute, but big picture here about basketball. Jordan has been to the conference championship game twice in the last 3 years. It's only his fourth year. You're in first place now. You got to be really pleased with where that program is. You've built a new practice facility. If I'm talking out of turn, stop me, but I know there's plans in the works that not that far down the road have an arena.
Yep.
You got to be really excited about where that program is. I'm serious about that.
Yeah, it's been fun. And you said the team's fun. Quite simply, they're just good people to be around. And I think that's a big part of it, right? They make it easy to want to work for them, work with them. They really care about the whole first. They care about the university. They want the university to be successful. And you know, with your sort of high priority, high profile sport being men's basketball, you need everybody around you to want to lift the thing up. And it's easier to do that if people like to work with you. And people love to work with Jordan. And people love to work with his staff. And so I think that all of that collectively, as well as their talent and their ability to recruit and the guys they're getting, plays into this. And it's something that can lift our university if we continue to ascend the way we want to. And, yeah, it's really exciting.
Frank was telling me you guys have a monster lacrosse trip coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's about to be February, and that's our busy time. And our first men's lacrosse game this weekend is at Syracuse in the Carrier Dome.
Wow.
And Syracuse is sort of the historic program in the country as it relates to lacrosse. They're ranked number 2 preseason. And our Coach John Galloway, a lot of people consider the greatest goalie of all time as a player. He won 2 national championships at Syracuse. He was the goalie the last time they won a national championship, and so it's a bit of a homecoming for him. He's from there. And not to mention, we've been pretty good too. We are second in the country in winning percentage over the last 3 years under Galloway's tutelage. So it's exciting for him to get to go home, and we'll see what we can do up there.
Yeah, this is the first time, right, that he's gone back to Syracuse.
Yep.
We were going to have John on, by the way. Alex talked to him, but he's practicing.
Yep.
And these coaches somehow, for whatever reason, practice seems to be important to them. So
yeah, I guess so.
So we
Especially
get it.
game week.
But he was going to come by, but it's the first time that he's gone back up there. Syracuse is very good, number 2 in the nation in offense. So you got to play defense against them. I mean, so, but what's it like for John? I mean, is it exciting, nerve-wracking? And I'd ask him that if he was sitting here, all of the above.
Yeah, I think he would say he does not want to make it about him.
Yeah.
But I have talked a lot about him going back up there. We had a staff meeting yesterday, and I mentioned it because I think it does matter. I think, you know, he grew up in the shadows of Syracuse. He went to West Geneseo High School up there.
Okay.
And so I think there's going to be emotion there. I think he's going to be excited to get back there. I know he's going to have a lot of people there cheering for him. But, again, he would say it's about the team, and it is. It's about the team going up there and having a little success.
All right, 2 questions about that. Number 1, then you play Duke next week?
Duke at home.
And they're one of the best.
They're always top 5, top 8.
So you have 2 blue bloods of all blue bloods. I mean, that's ambitious, right? I mean,
Heck of a start.
Is that the? I mean, this is the equivalent of playing playing LSU and Alabama in the first 2 weeks. Is that always kind of the plan? And
yeah, so we play Duke every year. Duke's head coach is one of Coach's mentors. John started his career as a volunteer at Duke. We've beaten Duke 2 of the last 3 years, and so I'm glad they still play us.
I get it.
They got us last year, but yeah, John challenges us in the non-league. We play North Carolina too this season coming up in the middle of the year. So we try to position ourselves. We might take our lumps early. But we try to position ourselves to be ready for the league and make a run there.
Who's in the A-Sun in soccer? I mean, in lacrosse.
Yeah, it's
different.
wide-ranging. Yeah, because there's only about 85 schools that play Division I men's lacrosse. So we have Bellarmine and Mercer and Queens, Air Force, Utah.
Are all in the same league.
Are all in the same league, yeah. So Utah's been our biggest rival these last few years. They're a newer program. And so, yeah, you don't think A-Sun and Utah in the same sentence, but it comes to men's lacrosse, that's where they are.
I saw this in terms of the NCAA, and we always appreciate your expertise on that. The going to eliminating a red shirt in 5 years of eligibility to play. Do you think that happens, and do you like that?
You know, Jeff Goodman was here on campus today, and he was watching our shoot around, and he was talking to me about that, and I think that's hard because I think it puts high school kids in a bad position. I think, if you have guys, men and women who are able to be in college for 5 years and play 5 seasons, and in high school you're there for 4 years and 4 seasons, there's an imbalance there. And so it's already hard with the portal for high school kids to find a spot on teams at the Division I level. The roster limits are shrinking with the house settlement. And so I worry a little bit about that. I understand where we're coming from with it. But at some point, you got to draw the line. You got to draw the line with all that we're doing to change college sports and take a breath and see what's working. I'm not sure that rule is really that broken, and we have to consider the kids coming behind and what this does for their opportunity. So I'm not sure if it'll happen. I think it'll take some time. I have a hard time believing it'll be voted on this spring for it to go into place for next year, but who knows?
Quick overview of what to look for. Baseball, you like where they are.
Yeah.
Softball, give us a quick spring overview of what to watch.
Yeah, so baseball opens here in a couple weeks against West Virginia here at John Sessions. Softball, too. We have a bunch of home tournaments for softball. We obviously, being in Florida, we get a lot of home games here in the spring, which is exciting. Men's and women's lacrosse opens up. And then, obviously, men's and women's basketball has their stretch run here in February coming up. So it's fun. Fun time of year.
Tickets tonight are available. None available for Saturday. That's sold out.
None available for Saturday.
Can people buy these hats?
Yeah.
You just got to hit up Mike Blackburn.
Okay, Mike's
head men's golf coach.
And he's a fan, one of the best golf people in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Come on out and see the JU Dolphins tonight against Gulf. This is a big game, man. There's a chance to stay all alone in first place against a very good team who's one game back, one of the teams in second place. JU Gulf Coast tip-off. It's 7 o'clock at Swisher. Come on by and see it. Alex, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
We'll take a break. Hays has headlines after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Chevrolet. Now look, as they begin 2025, Nimnick is so excited to offer even more choices and better prices for you, ensuring your car buying experience is second to none. And if you're wondering where to go for a better buying experience, it's simple. Nobody but Nimnick. So here's to another year of driving forward together. And don't forget now, in this new year means new truck time at Nimnick Chevrolet. This month, you can save up to $12,000 off a new Silverado. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find the perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV, designed to go the distance. It boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. And ask about a terrific low rate as well. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Taking it to the bank every day of the year.
To the 5, into the end zone, touchdown!
Follow your home team on your home station, 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. It's cold outside, and the best way to stay warm this winter is with the new Bono's limited time offer, a signature Bono's barbecue sandwich paired with your choice of savory super chili, starting at just $11.99. Your choice of a pulled pork, smoked turkey, smoked sausage, char-grilled chicken, or beef brisket sandwich, plus a bowl of a hot, delicious soup or chili. You can't beat that deal, so hurry into Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
I'm Renee Harrell. At Harrell & Harrell, we understand when you've been in an accident, there's a lot to handle. You've lost pay, and now the medical bills are piling up. When there isn't much insurance, some attorneys will pay your bills, take their fee, leaving you with even less than them. Not at Harrell & Harrell. We'll work hard to reduce your medical bills, and we promise our fee will never be more than you take home. Call us today, 904-251-1111. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's a new year at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. Cash in this month with thrilling promotions and tournaments, including daily high hands and table games clockwork cash out, giving away $300 cash every 15 minutes and selected weekends at all 3 Best Bet locations. Catch all the excitement in 2025. See all the details and learn the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Take a radio boat ride with Captain Cabin on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TURN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TURN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 12th through 16th. The Daytona 500 is sold out, but you can still win a 4-pack of tickets to all the other Speed Weeks races. What anniversary of the Great American Race does 2025 mark? Text the anniversary number to 641-1010. What anniversary of the Great American Race does 2025 mark? Text the answer to 641-1010 for a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Speed Weeks races.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hays' Headlines, presented by Harold & Harold. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hays Carlyon.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111, 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars fan event tomorrow. Liam Cohen is going to talk. What are some things that you're interested in hearing more about from the new head coach?
You know what I love about him is he likes to get into the details of football. You know, he's not afraid. He'll get into the details of football, and I love that. I love the fact that that's important to him. I love the fact that he's got a good feel for that. I love the idea of having him there, so I think he's going to be fantastic, and I love having him do it. So I can't wait to hear him. I can't wait to hear. He's honest. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
There's no BS with this guy, man. He's honest. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited about it.
Super Bowl ads on Fox are going for as much as $8 million a pop. Usually Super Bowl ads jump about $100,000 in price per year, but this year the jump has been $500,000. Last year's Super Bowl had an audience of 123.7 million.
$8 million for a 30-second commercial. $8 million. What in the world? I mean, think about it. And by the way,
I put you down for 4.
Yeah, and guess what? People wouldn't buy it. People wouldn't be buying it if it wasn't working. Put me down for 4. But I mean, $8 million. And again, you know what the value is, what the market will bear. Well, if the market's going to bear that, it's worth that. It's honest to God, it's amazing.
Yeah, and they're pretty much sold out. Speaking of Super Bowl ads, if you want to impress your wife or girlfriend, there is a Hellman's ad featuring Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal that plays off of When Harry Met Sally. Tell her you're excited to see it. Probably get you some brownie points there. And if she's never seen the movie, watch it with her.
Do the young people know what that movie is?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying. If
you're trying to help
JJ,
people.
do you know what? Have you ever seen
I'll have what she's having.
Yes, which is what I think the ad is going to be kind of spoofing.
You know what? You're not slipping one by JJ. Not on a Wednesday afternoon on the First Coast. You're not doing that.
But I would say from like a popularity standpoint, When Harry Met Sally probably has one of the greatest approval ratings.
I agree with that.
I mean, I think it's a great movie too. Don't get me wrong.
It's a great
movie. But yeah. Anyway, so they're a little nugget that may help you with some conversation. Mike McCarthy will sit out the season and try and get a job in the 2026 cycle. Do you think Mike McCarthy will have any interest next year?
Yeah, I do. I think Mike McCarthy will be a head coach again or have a chance to. The question with McCarthy is, would he be willing to do something other than head coach? Is Mike McCarthy done too much as a head coach to go be a coordinator? That's the question. And my guess is yes. My guess is he doesn't come back unless he's the head coach. But he's a good coach. He just had 3 12-win seasons in Dallas. He won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. He was both places a long time. He's a good football. Doug Peterson's a good football coach. Mike Vrabel is a good football coach, and he's got a job again. One thing we're seeing is between Vrabel and Peterson and McCarthy, we're seeing good coaches. I mean, Super Bowl winning coaches in the case of McCarthy and Peterson. We're seeing Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. We're seeing good coaches back on the market. And yes, I think there will be a market for guys like that. I really do.
Let's get to college football. ESPN has predicted the 12-team playoff for next season. They've got Georgia as the 1, Penn State, Utah, and Louisville getting buys as well. These are the first-round matchups to get you kind of tickled for college football
First of all, you give me Utah and Louisville in the top 4, I'm already jacked up.
Absolutely.
Good luck trumping that.
Right.
Go ahead.
So we've got 12th-seeded Boise State returning to the playoff, going to 5th-seeded Alabama.
Love it. Alabama doesn't win the league, but they obviously are very good. That must mean they lost 43-42 to Georgia in the SEC. Okay, I like it. Keep
all
going.
Right,
I like it.
We've got the hoodie. Bill Belichick with his 11th-seeded North Carolina Tar Heels.
Come on.
Traveling to Austin to take on the Texas Longhorns.
Come on. I was with you until now.
Hey, I didn't predict it.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I could see them going 10-2.
Right.
Their schedule is other than Clemson. We've talked about it.
Let me ask this. Are you related to Belichick? Because I mean, is there something we don't know? Are y'all cousins?
Hey, I wish I was related to Bill Belichick.
Through marriage or something, because you love you some hoodie.
I do. I wouldn't be shocked.
Hays Carlyon predicts North Carolina wins it all.
Hey, it's not my field, but I did think it was plausible with those athletes that Belichick's brain might be able to get them a 10-2 record and into the playoff. We'll see. And then the 10-7 LSU at Notre Dame.
And I think LSU, if you're going to buy right now, with Garrett Nussmeier coming back and all they did in the portal, if you're buying right now, buy LSU. I'll bet LSU has a special season because Brian Kelly's a good coach. No matter what things have gone right or wrong, you got a good coach, and you've got. I think, honestly, I know everybody loves Arch Manning, even though he's never played, but you might have the best quarterback coming back in the country in Garrett Nussmeier. Is that a reach, you think?
No, I don't think so.
He might be the best. He might be the best quarterback in the country coming back.
If you told me right now the national championship next year is going to be Penn State versus LSU, I could absolutely see that.
Yeah, me too.
And then the 9-8 game, just Ohio State at Michigan.
How about that? Ohio State. And by the way, you know Ohio State's going to be good because they're going to have better players than everybody they play. And Michigan earned their stripes this year. So he's got Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State in again. And, you know what? I don't know if that's the field. I'd be a little surprised if North Carolina's in it.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that we're talking about a field. I think
Absolutely.
It's great.
I love it, too. Let's get into college basketball. Number 12, Kentucky beats 8th-ranked Tennessee 78-73 in Knoxville. The Wildcats shot 50% from the field and drilled 12 threes. The Vols made 11 of 45 three-point attempts, shooting 34.7% for the game. Kentucky improved to 4-3 in SEC play. Tennessee 4-4.
Did you watch that game?
No.
I watched every dribble. I watched the entire game. I mean, Kentucky took it to him, Hays, from the minute it started. I think Kentucky was up 12-4, and Kentucky was down a couple guys, and it didn't even matter. They were bigger. They made everything. But I'm telling you, I kept waiting for Tennessee to. Now, Tennessee did take a lead in the first half, and Kentucky retook it. But I kept waiting for, okay, that's cute. But Tennessee, all of a sudden, will win by 10. And I mean, Kentucky took it to them. Tennessee, by the way, which looked unbeatable, undefeated, ranked first going into conference play. It's 4-3 in the league. You realize
4-4.
They're 4-4 now.
Yeah, they've lost 2 straight.
They're 4-4 in the league after looking unbeatable. That's how good the league is, by the way.
Without a doubt. So now Gators at Vols is all set for Saturday because Florida had its mini bye. So the Gators will be 5-2 going into the matchup in league play versus 4-4 Tennessee. Tennessee actually stayed at 4 in the net rankings today, despite the home loss to Kentucky. By the way, they're 10th in the SEC standings right now.
And 4th in the net.
And 4th in the country.
Yeah.
While the Gators remain 5th in the net. Florida is 8th in the country in scoring offense at 85.2 points per game. Tennessee is 3rd in scoring defense at 59.3 points per game. What do the Gators need to do to get the big win?
Well, we've all talked about this. Number one, I look at these 4 games lumped in there together. Go 2-2. We've been saying that. It's by far the most brutal stretch of the year for them. At Tennessee, home against a pretty damn good Vandy team, which is ranked. At Auburn, who's the best team in the country, and then at Mississippi State. So it's going to be go 2-2. As for Tennessee, you start well, and you push them around. They pushed them around last game. They beat them by 30 points. So you push them around a little bit and get physical with them, and I think if that happens, then Tennessee could wilt a little. Now look, Tennessee's probably going to win. You've lost a couple in a row. You're home. It's your big rival. That place is going to be crazy loud. So Tennessee's probably going to win because of all that. But if you can out-physical them, and they truly out-physical them last game, it would help Florida to have one of those games where not a lot of whistles, But if it's one of those games without a lot of whistles and Florida takes it to them, look out. Here's the other thing, too. Zakai Ziegler is a really good player, but they had Martin on him. And Martin physical. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Martin
and he hurt his knee last night.
And he did. He came back in.
He came back in.
But Zakai Ziegler, who I still think is their best player. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah.
But you put a big physical, strong safety type on him, and I think it'll affect him.
Big SEC game tonight as number 4 Alabama travels to face 14th ranked Mississippi State. The Tide are 17-3 overall, 6-1 in SEC play, while the Bulldogs are 16-4 and 4-3. Tip is at 9 o'clock tonight, so you can watch it after you watch JU and UNO.
Did you know that's the shortest road trip in the SEC?
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
Tuscaloosa and Starkville are about 60 miles.
Oh, wow.
So Tuscaloosa and Starkville, it's about an hour.
Okay.
It's the closest trip.
I couldn't point Starkville, Mississippi out on a map.
I've been there a bunch of times. I don't think I've ever seen anything good happen there. But I've been there for baseball, basketball, and football. And it's the shortest trip in the SEC, Tuscaloosa and Starkville. So even though you don't think of them as rivals, I mean they're literally. You know how Georgia and Clemson are an hour apart.
Right.
People don't realize that. Well, Mississippi State and Alabama, no one talks about them as rivals. It's an hour apart.
FSU should get back on the winning track tonight. The Noles host Virginia Tech and are a double-digit favorite. FSU was 13-7 overall and 4-5 in ACC play, while the Hokies are 8-12 and 3-6.
Yeah, they got. But if FSU's going to make a run at all, it's got to start now. They looked like they were improved. Remember, FSU was really good for a while there under Leonard Hamilton, then really took a nosedive. If they're going to bounce back, Hayes, that's got to start now. So it's got to start with right now. It's got to start now, or they're out again as far as the tournament goes.
We are here at JU. The Dolphins host Florida Gulf Coast tonight at 7. The Dolphins own first place in the Atlantic Sun with a 7-1 record, including a 7-game winning streak. Gulf Coast is 6-2. The Dolphins are a 2.5-point favorite.
It's a big game in the A-Sun. You know, you heard Jordan Mincy talk about Coach Mike Fly. He used to be the head coach at Gulf Coast, so it's a big game for him. This is a big game because this game, if you win this one, now you're putting some distance between you and the field, or at least one of the most important teams in the field. JU's playing at a great level. That place will be rocking. Swisher's not a very big place. The students are all coming to this one. It is going to be a fun night here at Swisher. I tell people again, there's some tickets left, not many. There's no tickets left for the Rumble on Saturday, so if you don't have one, you can't go to that one. But you can come tonight. And I encourage people to come out and watch what's going to be a terrific game tonight.
Absolutely. UNF also in action tonight at home against Stetson at 7. Big game. UNF is 3-5 in league play, while Stetson is 5-3. The Ospreys have been installed as a 9.5-point favorite. UNF leads the country in threes made per game at 12.6.
UNF started great. They won on the road against both South Carolina and Georgia Tech, two Power 4 teams. Struggled a little bit and then struggled when the league began. I'll stay this till it's over. I believe they're better than the record. But you got to win this. Stetson, interesting, was miserable to start the season. They lost all those guys from that good team last year, transferred out and whatnot. But once the league play got here, they started playing well. And so this is a really big game for UNF. UNF, remember, you got the Rumble on Saturday. The first Rumble's at JU. This is a big game for the Ospreys. Ospreys got to find a way to beat Stetson tonight.
Really interesting bracketology from ESPN's Joe Lunardi. He's got the Gators a 2 seed in the East. JU a 14 seed as the A-Sun champion, playing 3 seed Michigan State.
Well, you said it right when you said it to both Jordan and Alex on the air, that the A-Sun team not being in the play-in game, not being a 15, being a 14, tells you how much Lunardi respects this league. And JU right now is on top of the league. That would be awesome. And yeah, Florida, if it was today, Florida would be a 2 seed. I think by every metric, Florida would be at worst a 2 seed. Now look, there's a lot of basketball left. And again, I'll say it again, this next 4-game stretch will define the Gators season. But yeah, right now, 2 seed's about right.
Absolutely, and it being a 2 seed in the East would be big for the Gators. Let's get to Major League Baseball. Yankees owner Hal Steinbrenner weighed in on the Dodgers spending spree, saying it will be difficult for most of us owners to keep up with what they are doing. LA is spending $390 million on their 2025 payroll, but when you include the luxury tax for going over the $241 million threshold, the number jumps to just over $500 million that the Dodgers are spending on this team.
Yeah, I want to feel for poor Mr. Steinbrenner. Okay, the Pirates weigh in at about $71 million. Okay, I want to. But how weird is that for someone named Steinbrenner to say financially we can't keep up? Think about that statement just for a second. Somebody named Steinbrenner said financially we can't keep up. But I will say this. I kind of give the Dodgers credit. JJ and I have argued about this 1,000 times. We'll continue to. Baseball needs a salary cap. And Dodgers saying, okay, if you're not going to have one, we may spend $1 billion. No one can stop us. Right. We're not worried about a luxury tax. We'll take that out of our wallet. So why, if the rules allow you to go buy all the good players, why wouldn't you? I applaud the Dodgers for using the rules.
And we will get you out on our musical nugget of the day. Because on this day back in 1983, Men at Work became the first act in 12 years to have the #1 song and album on the American and British charts at the same time. The song is Down Under, and the album was Business as Usual. Yes, this song was popular 42 years ago. Wow. I think it holds up quite well today.
And how 80s is this? Isn't it? This is perfectly 80s, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Great call. Great job on headline.
Thank you.
We're live at JU. We'll be back to wrap the program after this.
Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover.
Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the runaway favorite to win the MVP this season. The Thunder have the best record in the NBA. He is minus 350. Nikola Jokic is at plus 200. He has 21 triple-doubles on the season and is a three-time former MVP. Giannis Antetokounmpo is plus 10,000, and Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics plus 20,000. The Celtics are the betting favorite to win this year's NBA championship to repeat as winners of the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Boston at plus 200. The Oklahoma City Thunder plus 250. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who have the best record in the Eastern Conference, plus 750. Denver plus 1,200. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the G-Bank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
New Year's resolutions. But let's be honest, by February, that gym membership is just a $50 a month guilt trip.
So why not take that cash and finally fix your leaky faucet, unclog that drain, or tune up your AC?
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning has your back. Start the year fresh. No leaks, no clogs, no excuses.
It's a resolution you'll actually keep.
Call Duck Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer. North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com. Powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
When they were little, the other girls played with dolls.
Aww.
They played with footballs. Who's that?
Yes, it's us.
Helmets and heels.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Some girls have all the fun.
Kick off the new year with a new look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% on their energy-efficient windows and patio doors, designed to keep your home comfortable all year. Plus, zero down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and if it's time for you to sell your home, there is nothing like a guarantee, is there? Well, with Chad and Sandy and ChadandSandy.com, you know what the guarantee is? Your home sold guaranteed, or they'll buy it. How simple can it be? Whatever problems you think you have, didn't I just eliminate most of them? Perhaps you're worried about costly repairs. Need to sell your home, not with Chad and Sandy. Maybe you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. That's what the agreed upon price is all about. Chad and Sandy, check every box. Call them today. Chad and Sandy, the only local real estate experts I trust and recommend. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. Cancel at any time. Jonathan in Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of traveling in my RV was the sale of my home. I heard Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Crazy results in just 3 days. Got multiple offers for full asking price. You can too. Call 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com.
Hey, our
Are you ready to welcome our new head coach, Liam Cohen, to the bank? Join us this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Gallagher Club West and be among the first to hear directly from Coach Cohen. Enjoy a live panel with Coach Cohen, appearances from Jaguars legend Tony Vaselli, The Roar, Jackson DeVille, and the D-Line. Tickets are free, but space is limited. Secure your tickets by going to jaguars.com/Coach Cohen today.
Mike Dempsey here. All right, we're almost a month into the new year. How's that resolution to drop your first 20 to 25 pounds going? Didn't happen? Yeah, well, that's probably because you didn't call Awaken 180 weight loss. I did, and in just 4 weeks, I dropped 23 pounds and was at my goal. But here's the crazy part. It didn't stop there. It was so easy. I kept going. Did it another week. Next thing I know, I'm down 27 pounds. That's right, 27. You know what's wild? I can still see my abs again. Not ripped. I don't have a six-pack, but I didn't even think I had those anymore before Awaken 180. It's amazing when you see the results. Feel the results. You just want to keep pushing forward. That's what makes Awaken 180 so different. It's not some medication quick fix where the weight comes off and comes back. It's real results that you can see and feel. Fast results and lasting results. Results that make you want to keep going. To reach a goal you never thought possible. Want the same for you? Then do it. Call the solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com today.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, where we've been in the program today, we have certainly talked a great deal of JU basketball. That's why we're here. Going to be at Swisher in about an hour or so. JU and Gulf Coast get together, and that's going to be a huge game here in the Atlantic Sun. We talked about that. Jordan Mincy, the coach, stopped by as he always does. Alex Ricker-Gilbert, the AD as well. So we talked a lot about JU sports. Baseball, softball getting ready. The lacrosse team, which is one of the best in the country, goes to Syracuse, and John Galloway goes to his alma mater. They also play Duke next week, so a really good lacrosse program. We certainly talked about that as part of it as well. We covered all that. We talked a little Jaguar football, and a great job, as always, with headlines from Hays. I'm looking forward to this game tonight. It's going to be an awful lot of fun, JU and Gulf Coast.
It was cool hearing Jordan Mincy talk about what a fun group it is to coach and how it's player-driven. And we've talked about that with the Jaguars. We've talked about it really with all the teams that we cover, how important that is and how hard that is to cultivate. You know, the coaches can lead you, and you can have success with that. But the special teams, when I say special, the groups that are really exceptional, that achieve at a championship level, it's the players. It's the players that say, yes, we have our coaches and they'll guide us and they'll tell us what they want. But it's up to us to hold each other accountable, to keep each other in line, to encourage, and for us to stick together. This is our team. And it seems like he's really got that with this group of Dolphins. And
I don't think there's any question.
I mean, that mix of defense and now discovering that three-point accuracy. I mean, Alex said they lead the league in three-point percentage. I checked on it today because I was curious. They kept making – I keep seeing them make 10 or more threes. So I was curious where they stand nationally. They make 7.6 a game, which is about 190th in the country.
Middle of the pack.
But keep in mind, there's 353 Division I schools. So I bet you JU has been more in the 250s and lower in his first few years in terms of made threes a game. So being at 7.6 and hitting it even more often now in the games that they're playing, hitting that double-digit number, that's been outstanding for JU.
Well, and I think that shows how he's growing as a coach. He's never going to shoot threes the way UNF does. That's their calling card. Matthew Driscoll built that. He'll tell you. Dunks, layups, and open threes. That's how they play. They probably lead the nation in made threes.
They do. 12.6 a game. UNF leads the country,
and they're good at that, and that's what they've always done. But Matthew also would tell you they got to do some of the other things better. He's told me, he's told us, they've got to do the other. JU has not been good at that over the years. So I credit Jordan Mincy with saying, listen, that's an area where we've got to grow. You know, we're going to defend, we're going to guard, we're going to rebound, we're gonna play hard. We're gonna dive and get loose balls. We've been good at that since he got here. What they haven't been good at is shooting. They have not been a good offensive team, and part of that is what UNF does so well, looking for the open three. First open three goes up. Guys that are looking to shoot it, not looking for the extra pass, which is today's basketball. they're as good as anybody. Well, the good teams in all of college basketball do that, and JU's become like that. JU now, Zimi Wakaji, particularly the 6'7" stretch four, buddy, he's looking to shoot it the first open look. And I think the really good teams do that. And so I think growth in Jordan Mincy as a coach is learning and letting Mike Fly, his assistant, and he told, again, I hope you heard his interview.
It really was.
He told a great story today.
Yeah, it was illuminating.
It was, wasn't it? He said, Coach Fly is on me. Well, I'll do a practice plan. He'll say, Coach, you got to put more shooting in. You got to put more shooting in. We don't have enough shooting in the practice plan. And he stays on me till I get it right. Number one, it was very humble.
Yes.
Which I really appreciate the humility of it. I really did. And I appreciate how he goes about his business. So can't wait to watch it tonight. I'm very excited about it. And I'm very excited about JU and UNF on Saturday. And I can't wait to get out to UNF. I miss it. I love that arena too. I love doing shows from that hospitality area. Yeah. Nick Morrow and the folks over there have done such a marvelous job of that. They really have. And I can't wait to get over there. We get to go there next Thursday, I think, is our first trip. Then we got a bunch of trips to UNF too, just like JU. So I'm looking forward to getting out there as well. Good luck to JU and UNF as they both play important home games tonight in the A-Sun. The Jaguar coordinator search moves along. A number of names defensively. The first name I saw offensively was Nate Shieldhouse, former Illinois quarterback, who I saw play a bunch when he was up there. Good coach. Good solid football coach. Smart guy. I got to know Nate. I haven't seen him in years, but I know I met him and got to know him a little bit when he was up there. And really quiet leader. Really cerebral, very, very respected in that Illinois program. I told the story earlier. My friend Lauren Brooks. Lauren, thank you for looking up for it. I didn't remember what year it was. It was 2010. I didn't know the year. But played RG3 and Art Briles in the Texas Bowl. RG3 was going to go on to a year later winning the Heisman Trophy. And it was Nate Shieldhouse in Illinois, 38. RG3 and Baylor, 14.
Wow.
And so he's a good football guy. I don't know if he's getting the job. He's just the first guy we've seen that the team has announced that they have interviewed. But, yeah, I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about tomorrow night. I'm excited about being out there at that pep rally tomorrow night and hearing what Liam Cohen has to say.
Yeah, there's going to be some revelations that come out of that because Liam Cohen is the type of guy you can tell that he doesn't coach speak a lot. And maybe when they get in the regular season, you'll start to see that. But, I think he's been very vivid and talking about what he wants to build here. And I think he'll be even more like that with the fans. He really wants to connect with the fans. He wants the fans to have a great experience and obviously get very excited about his direction of the football program. So I would imagine we're going to get some really interesting answers from Liam Cohen tomorrow night. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, again, if you want to come on over there tomorrow night. It's at the stadium. It's free. You got to go on Jaguars.com and register, so you got to get a ticket, but it's a free ticket. And when you get there, by the way, concessions are like 40% off. There's discounts on merchandise as well. It's just going to be a fun, really good night at the stadium. What a way to welcome him too. Be one of the fans that welcomes him. Wouldn't that be cool?
Absolutely.
Be one of the fans that welcomes him in. So yeah. So,
look, we don't know how this is going to go, but what if he's unbelievable? What if he becomes one of the best head coaches in the NFL? Then to be able to say that you were at the first, fan event pep rally that he did, that's a memory that you hold on to for a long time.
Yeah, it really is. So hopefully it'll be without question, hopefully it'll be a fun night. I can't wait to get over that. I'll say this, one final thing before we say hello to Rick Ballou. I do, and listen, this always happens when you have a new coach, so this isn't new. This isn't unusual, but there's a palpable energy and optimism. Can you feel it?
Absolutely.
And every time you get a new coach, it's like that. This isn't the first time a new coach has showed up and people get excited. You always get excited, and I know that. But I think people like offense. People like good offense. He's made the Tampa good very quickly. He took at the college level a Kentucky team that had, frankly, as much as I like Mark Stoops and as good as they've been defensively, never been good offensively, and made them good offensively. So I think there's a palpable optimism about him. I believe that's real.
I believe it's real, too, because he's the reason that you have this fresh vision of Jaguars football. He is the reason that you've got a clean sweep and a brand-new group of leadership coming in led by Liam Cohen. And without that, I don't know that the excitement would have been nearly as high if it was Trent Baalke introducing Liam Cohen with Shad Khan. The fact that Liam Cohen is running this organization now from a football standpoint, I think it has brought an unbelievable level of enthusiasm and excitement to this fan base.
All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
All right, Rick Ballou joins us now. Rick, we're learning more and more about some of the candidates they're interviewing. Anybody catch your eye in some of the ones that we've learned they've interviewed so far?
You know, this young cat, Nathan Shieldhouse, is very intriguing because it appears to be a Jaguars Buccaneers right now, both looking at this young man, only 34 years of age, currently the Rams passing game specialist. You look at a guy like David Blau, 29 years of age. So, I mean, it certainly feels like, at least offensively, that what Sean McVay did years ago and now turning it into a 39-year-old Liam Cohen, you think maybe he would surround himself with guys who are a little bit longer in the tooth and have a lot of NFL experience, but that doesn't appear to be the direction that this football team is thinking, at least offensively. So, yeah, I'm a little inspired about this and the way the game continuously changes, bringing in some young, fresh mind. By the way, these guys both have a ton of experience, even though they're not necessarily old in football terms. So, we'll see. I still get the impression, though, that the first announcement will be defense and that when it comes down, it will be the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I've told the story in the air a little bit that I got to, not very well, but I got to know Nate a little bit when he was the Illinois quarterback under Ron Zucca many years ago, Rick, and he's a sharp cat. I can tell you that. So he'd be a sharp cat. All right, what's coming up on the show tonight? What are we doing?
We got all that, the very latest on the Jaguars. I got a couple of things I do want to throw out there that I think will interest our audience. And also, let's put a closure on, Trent Baalke. I've gone back and forth with Albert Breer, who was on the show about 10 days ago. I'm going to have Albert back on in the very near future, but some interesting stuff he had on Sports Illustrated about how this whole process went. I think it's pretty intriguing for those out there who have yet to hear it, so I want to take a deep dive with that, and this will probably be the final time, we'll look back at Baalke, because right now, of course, this organization is strictly looking ahead.
Exactly right. Rick, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. Rick Ballou goes into the night. He'll always have good stuff about the Jags and a whole lot more, so keep the radio right where you have it right now. That'll do it for our program. Rick Ballou goes into the night right now, so don't go anywhere. We're out of here. For JJ and Hays, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.